You ready now?
I am.
All right. Being 6:01, I'd like to call the Town Hall School Admin Building Committee meeting to order. There's something to read here to it. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order superseding certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. Member of the public who wish to listen to this meeting may do so via Zoom conferencing using the following link. And John has that up on the screen for us. Thank you, John. This meeting of the Town Hall School Admin Building Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Members of the public who would like to listen in on the meeting while it's in progress may do so via telephone by dialing 1-646-558-8656 and enter the meeting ID 883-0920-2681, and then press the pound sign and press the pound sign again at the next voice prompt. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the provision of the meeting designated for public comment by following the steps previously noted, then pressing *9 on their telephone keypad. This will notify the meeting host that the caller wishes to speak. All callers using this feature will be placed in a queue in order that they enter their prompt. In the event that, despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide the real-time access, we will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as we are able. All right, before I do a roll call, I have a little thing here that at June 27th, our annual town meeting, 2020, we voted to authorize $955,000 to complete a feasibility study and schematic design for a new town hall school admin building. The first item at hand we have is for the building committee to select an OPM. The Mass State law for the construction of this project is over 1.5 million, so an OPM is required. The OPM, which is the owner's project manager, will serve as the town's representative throughout the study of the schematic design process. The first task at hand will be to hire an architect to design and determine a location to develop and estimate construction cost of this project. The budget number will be brought before the town and voted on at the town meeting. An RFQ for an OPM proposals went out. 15 firms submitted. It's the task of the building committee tonight to evaluate each proposal and develop a short list of their top choices, which we will interview. All right, the next item on our agenda is to do a roll call. So I'll just call off your name and you introduce yourself. That way we don't have to go in any particular order. Kevin?
I'm here, a member of the Board of Selectmen.
John?
John Doherty, member of the Finance Committee, in here.
Diane?
Here, Diane Allen, member of the Permanent Building Committee.
Mike?
Mike Kitcher, member of the Permanent Building Committee, here.
Paul?
Paul Malorani, present, and a member of the Permanent Building Committee.
Paul Ruggiero next. We got
I'm
two Paul.
here, Wilmington Public Schools.
All right. So I'm sure everybody's had their opportunity to read through each one of the firm's proposals. Did we have any questions before we start to go in and talk about the each one of them?
George, should we make mention of the committee members that are not here just to get their names on record?
Steve Bjork is not present tonight. Who else are we missing?
Jack Holloway.
Oh,
Jack
Jack
Holloway.
Holloway's not here.
Member of the Permanent Building Committee.
Yes, and they did not leave me, or I have not received any information pertaining to their selection. We do have a quorum for our meeting now. All right. Has everybody had the opportunity to review all of the firm's proposal?
Yes.
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 What I'd like to do is, I would like to make the short list and see if we can try to limit it to 4. This way here, when we do our interview process, we can do it on 2 separate nights. We'll see how this turns out. John O'Neill has a matrix that he's put together that he will keep track of our selections, and at the end, we will see what the outcome is. All right. All right, I might as well lead off myself with my firms after going through in no particular order. After reviewing all the firms, I came up with P3, Colliers, CHA, and Vertex. Again, in no particular order. These are the firms that I came up with. All right. I will ask Kevin if you are ready.
Sure. I have listed Vertex, Collier's project, CHA, and Design Tech. Is that 4? Yeah.
That's 4. Thank you very much.
I could throw in a 5th, but I'll
You
keep it at
you
4.
can if you want.
No,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, no, we're just trying to create a short list, of course.
Yeah, no.
You may have come up with 3, you know, if you didn't know.
I like CBI too, but that's fine.
Okay.
But
I'll ask Paul Malorani.
So I have, in no particular order, P3, Dorr and Whittier, Colliers, and Vertex.
Okay, thank you. Paul Ruggiero.
I have P3, Colliers, Vertex, and CHA.
Diane.
Okay, yeah, I reviewed the 15 firms. About 10 of these submitted even on the previous senior center project. So my final 4 in no particular order are P3, CHA, Colliers, and Vertex.
Mike Kachuk.
How we doing, George? In no particular order either. I had CHA Consulting, Colliers International, Hill International, and P3.
Okay. We got everybody, right? Did I miss anybody?
John Doherty.
Oh yeah, John Doherty. Sorry, John.
That's okay. No particular order. I did P3, Vertex, Hill International, and Turva.
What was that last one?
Turva.
Turva.
Thank you. Jeff? You on there?
Actually, I'm going to defer to you folks on this.
Okay, thank you. And like I said, Steve is not present, and Jack Holloway is not.
Okay, so we got,
So
you
we
can-
have the Vertex, P3, Colliers, and CHA.
Okay. Wow.
okay.
So that's an obvious top four. There's no close fifth one.
No,
No,
no. Vertex got 6. P3 got 6. Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
Collier's got 6 and
Collier's got 6.
yeah,
CHA 5.
CHI 5, yeah. That's good. Good job.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Does anybody have any questions on that before we proceed?
You want a motion to adjourn now, Judge?
No, we got a few more things to
Oh,
go.
all right. All right.
Giving us some Christmas cards to write.
George, what dates are you looking at?
We haven't really set up any. That is the next item on our agenda to see what some potential dates that we can do. With everything going on,
Hang on.
I don't think we should try to squeeze it. This is just a suggestion. Do we want to try to get it in before the holiday or after the holiday break? There's not a lot of time, so.
Is that going to be too short a time for the people we want to interview?
Right, they have to be able to put something together, so.
Yeah.
I would say that we would not be able to do it before the holiday. And then Christmas break for a lot, I don't know if anybody really is traveling or as far as the committee's going, if they want to wait till after the first of the year. I just want to take a survey of the board and see what their thoughts are.
I think that would make sense, George, to wait till after the.
First of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I think after the first of the year is the way to go. So if you have your calendars available, we'll kind of take a look and see what you
Judge.
have.
Judge, can I just interject? That's if the timeline works with the town manager, if we wait until after the first of the year, or is there, or do you need to push this through sooner, Jeff? Is this okay to wait?
No, I think the first week in January should be okay.
Okay. For bringing that up.
I'm clear as a bell for the first week in January.
I am too.
Yep, I'm available.
I have something the evening of the 5th. Other than that, I'm in the 8th, but other than the other 3 days, I'm fine.
I have something the evening of the 5th as well, Tuesday.
I have something 5th and the 6th. 7th is open and the 8th is open.
I have something the evening of the 8th.
Looks like the
Both those
4th and
days.
7th.
4th and the 7th. You think that'll give them enough time? Yeah, I would think so. To get, I'm sure they're all ready. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
What was that, George? The 4th and the 7th?
Correct. What we'll do is we'll reach out to these firms and find out what days are available. We will set up interviews for 2 firms per each night. What did we give them, Jeff, last time? About an hour each, I recall.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
The other thing you'll want to do, perhaps at your, I don't believe it's on the agenda this evening, the developing the questions.
Right. Yeah, that was our next topic after this year. I will task everyone to think of some questions. We've done this at our previous building committee for our OPM. Submit them in, we will review them, and before the next meeting, we will read them off. We'd like to get about 10 questions. So if everyone could come up with about 2 to 3 questions, submit them to me. We'll go through them at our next meeting, 15 minutes beforehand, we will go through and we will talk about them and we'll identify who will be reading those questions off.
George,
Yes, Chris?
George, do
Yes.
you need a motion to accept the 4 individuals and to send a letter off of thanks to the others?
I do.
I don't know
Oh,
how this works.
Yes,
I would, George, just suggest in terms of your motion that prior to sending a letter of thanks, the way we did it in the past is once you went through the 4 and confirmed that there was a viable recommendation amongst those 4, then once that was concluded and I had the conversations with that firm, then we sent off letters. Just in the event, and it's probably unlikely that
which is fine. Yeah, no,
all
I agree with
4,
that.
you know.
We need to take a motion on what we read out for the results of this anyway, so.
Right.
So I'd entertain a motion to accept the results as they came out.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it, John, Judge.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, thank you. We're all set. We don't need one for the dates. You guys will come up with the questions. Next item on the agenda, I'm looking to nominate a vice chair, just in case for some reason I cannot make it. Do I have any nominations? Diane?
George?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Paul Millerani. He has served a very long time on the Permanent Building Committee, and I think he would be an excellent person as vice chair.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other nominations before I move? Hearing none. All in favor of Paul Millerani as vice chair?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, congratulations, Paul.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Your check is in the mail.
John O'Neill, do we have anybody in the audience?
We do not.
All right, so I was going to reach out for public comment. Having none. Is there any questions or any topic that any of the committee members would like to discuss?
George, I just have a question just for clarification here.
Yes.
With regard to the questions that we are going to submit for the candidates, what is your time frame that you want those questions in, and are we going to CC Jeff on those?
Yeah, please CC Jeff on them, and if you could get them into me, yeah, I would like to get them in before Wednesday, the 30th of December.
Okay.
George, just as a reference, do you want to have the questions that were used in the prior interviews sent out to everybody? There'll certainly be some that'll be slightly different, but there may be some that are
Right.
relevant to this
A lot of them
conversation.
do pertain to the senior center. There are some questions on there. It might be helpful for some of them. Might be a good idea. Let's stick to the ones that are just strictly for OPM that have no program design or anything for a senior center on there. We'll take that off. So we can review those and send them out to our committee members to assist in their questions.
Yeah, those were very, very, very good questions that we had put together.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure we would come up with this very similar questions also.
George, do you have a time as to when we're going to start on the 4th and the 7th, or will you send that out to us by
We'll
email?
send it out. I believe the last time we went for 6:30 on the start time, but we started a little early on the questions. Does this 6 o'clock time work for everybody, or is it, I just wanted to reach out across to see if this
Works
works.
for me.
Works for me.
Yes.
So we would meet at 6:30 and then start the interviews. I'm sorry, we'd meet at 6 and start the interviews at 6:30?
Right. What I'd like to do this time is we found that last time when the questions went quicker than we anticipated. We left some time for discussion, and we found that we had them assigned. Everybody reviewed them pretty quickly. Everybody was well informed, so we had some downtime. So I don't want to waste everybody's time. Once we get our questions and we identify who will be reading those questions off or asking them, then we'll go right to the interview process. So 6 o'clock start time, 15 minutes for questions, back and forth between us, and then a few minutes. So we'll be looking at probably a 6:30 start time for the interview, maybe. We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
And then George, if I recall from the last time, you allowed for a 15-minute break in between interview 1 and interview 2.
Same thing will happen this time for both dates. That way there, after listening to them, you can take a break to go get, and then come back. Any other questions?
Just for clarification, you want these submitted for the record, right? I didn't make it Friday.
Yeah, those are supposed to be send them to Wendy Martinello.
Okay, I'll get it in tomorrow.
Very good. Anybody else that has their sheets?
I still have mine. I'll get them in. I'll get them
Please
in.
turn them in,
Okay.
just for record.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Oh, hi, Chris.
Hi, I just wanted to remind you that because we're on Zoom, when we do make a motion and vote, we have to do that by roll call,
Okay.
just for the record. Sorry.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right. Any
So
other
George,
questions?
just on that point too, if you wouldn't mind just going back and having everybody take a roll call vote on the vote to, as to the 4 firms.
Okay. Can we go back to the 4 firms that were chosen? And
And so the 4 firms, just to be clear, those firms were,
P3, Colliers, Vertex, and CHA.
And
Yep.
Diane made the motion and John Doherty seconded it.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote, starting with you, Kevin.
Yes.
Aye, Kevin Kyra, yes. John Doherty,
Yes.
Paul Malorani,
Yes.
Paul Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mike Kachuk,
Yes.
Diane Allen,
Yes.
and myself, yes. All right, and then nomination for the vice chair was Paul Malorani. Myself, I, George Hooper, Diane Allen,
Yes.
Kevin Kyra,
Yes.
John Doherty,
Yes.
Paul Malorani,
Yes.
Paul Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mike Kachuk.
Yes.
All right. Seeing anything else, any more discussion?
Will Christina be sending that, those list of questions out to us from the previous one? Most of us have them from the senior center anyway, that are on the permanent building committee here.
Chris has graciously volunteered to be here tonight. She will not be our regular.
Oh,
So, but they will be sent out to you.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
George, one of the things you may want to do is, now that you have the 4 shortlisted firms, and this was done at the last time in the senior center, is to have particular individuals pursue reference checks on the various firms, each of them listed prior projects that they were involved in. So you may want to see if people would be willing to make calls to those contact people and get a little background on the projects that seemed relevant.
That's a good point, Jeff. On our last one, what we did is we assigned some of the firms to individuals who would go through and do reference checks, check some of the projects and follow up and then report back at our next meeting.
So George, just to also be clear on that, then when the last firm is interviewed on the 7th, there's going to be an agenda item after that we are then going to take a vote based on information that we've received, and we'll vote at the 7th meeting?
Correct. There will be an agenda item that will bring up topics for discussion. After we have the interviews, some of the information that we received can be brought out and discussed, and then we will rank the firms as we see at that time.
Okay, so are you going to select right now, or are people going to volunteer so we don't have people
I'll make
calling?
it easy. I'll assign, since we have this here, we can just do one firm for a couple of people that can go through. The problem with having too many people call in on,
Right.
The same firm as you know, it's just
Right.
overlapping and it gets a little. So,
Right.
Diane, if you don't mind, will you take P3?
Sure.
All right. Kevin, are you interested in doing some reference checks?
Yeah, that's fine.
Would you take Collier's?
Sure.
Paul Malorani, would you do CHA?
Yep.
John Doherty, would you mind doing Vertex?
Not a problem.
All right. Like I said, at our next meeting, that'll be a topic of a discussion. All right, any other items at hand? Any questions or discussion?
Just to clarify, our next meeting is not the 4th, right? We have a meeting between now and then?
No, our next meeting interview will be the 4th.
Okay.
That will be at 6, correct?
Correct.
And
This
George,
will all come out. There will be an email to everybody, let you know what's going on.
Okay.
when do we report the reference checks? Is that on the 7th before we vote?
Correct. We'll be discussing then.
Yeah. And then the final questions that then are assigned to each one, those are going to be into you by the 30th after looking things over, and a list will be sent out, and before the meeting starts, as you did at the last
Correct.
one, you'll assign the questions to everybody.
Right. That'll be at our first meeting on the 4th. The questions will be out. People can pick the ones that as they read through them that they prefer. And then if not, we can assign them. So everyone will get a couple of questions to ask. They'll be in order for both interview process. So say I ask a particular question, I will ask that same question on both nights in that same order.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
All right. Yeah, I know it's the holidays makes it a little tough. We would have rather have kind of moved this right along, but with everything the way it is.
George, just one question for you, and maybe to Paul Ruggiero. We have not been able to identify, no one has come forward from the town is able to serve as the recording secretary for these meetings. I know I had sent something off to you and Glenn. Is there anybody on the school side that would be willing to?
Paul and I have spoke. It's my understanding that they have, is it Tristan Dixie, Paul?
Yeah, Jeff, I think Glenn sent you an email sometime, maybe yesterday, but Tristan Dixie, who's currently Glenn's executive assistant, has offered to do that. She wasn't available in December, but January she should be.
Yeah, she's relocating, so after January 1st, she'll be able to join our meeting. So
Sounds
I'll
good.
catch her up to speed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And George, I can help if she wants any
Thank you,
feedback.
Chris.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Other than that, I'll entertain one more motion. Kevin, I know
Motion
you've
to
been waiting
adjourn?
for that one.
You want it? Yeah. I make a motion to adjourn, John.
Okay, Kevin, all right, second?
Second.
All right, and roll call? Go ahead. Diane,
Diane Allen, yes.
Paul Ruggiero,
Yes.
Kevin Kyra,
Yes.
John Doherty,
Yes.
Paul Millerani,
Yes.
Mike Kachuk,
Yes.
George Hooper, aye. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully this process will go as smooth as the other one did, so.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Happy and safe
Happy New
holiday
Year.
to everyone.
Happy New Year. Happy and healthy
Take care.
one. Stay
Healthy.
safe.